Routemaster buses have been a part of London for 50 years and are one of the best-known symbols of our capital. In 2001, Ken Livingstone spent £4 million on a pledge to keep the Routemaster on our streets for at least another 10 years.
Only some ghastly sort of, dehumanised moron would actually want to get rid of Routemasters.
But now, after only 4 years, the Mayor and Transport for London have made a U-turn decision, making 2005 the very last year of the Routemaster bus.
Just look at this. What amazes me is all the buildings on the bridge. There are 3-storey houses, there are shops down below, there's a chapel, the Thomas à Becket Chapel. Now, in the old days, before this, they could put a single arch over a stream, but here this is 276 metres long, and they had to have, look, 19 arches. Absolutely extraordinary. You can see it'd be quite tough to get a boat through there, it's so narrow. And in fact, if the tide was unfavourable, there could be a 6-foot drop from your side upstream to my side. And a proverb came which said, the bridge was for wise men to cross over and for fools to go under.
I'm Linda Robson. I'm an actress and a mother of 3. Like most London families, we don't exactly live the greenest of lifestyles, so the London programme asked me to try and go green for a week. With the help of an eco-lifestyle coach, we'd see if an average London household could really make a difference to our environment.
Ah, there's nothing more relaxing than a nice cup of tea after a hard day's work. But this scene of suburban serenity isn't enough for the inimitable Mr. Blow-Up.
I think that what I get in terms of sensation or feeling from inflatable clothing would be a sense of well-being. It's a nice way to unwind.
Marco is Brazilian. He's flown into London to find a wife so that he can claim an EU visa and work legally in the UK. He's only here for 2 weeks and he's confident that he'll find a wife in that time. His greatest concern was simply getting through UK passport control.
She just stamped, didn't ask anything. I was like, yes, I mean, that's wonderful. So now I have to just concentrate and do the things to stay in.
Marco is one of an estimated 20,000 people a year who enter the UK on holiday visas who then switch to marriage visas.
Bite marks on human flesh can identify a criminal, and through dental records can reveal the identity of a victim. In tonight's casebook, we're looking at 2 murder investigations that established odontology as a valid forensic technique.
This was the first item I bought, and it was 2.5p, and I didn't have my handbag with me, so they put it by for me, and that was the start of this. So I don't know whether it was good value or not, because it's cost a lot more since.
Margaret Tyler started collecting anything and everything related to the royal family in the mid-70s. Now, a quarter of a century later, she scarcely got room for anything else.
Well, people do say I'm obsessive, but I don't know. I call it a healthy interest.
Over the last 7 years, I've built up a personal collection of transport videos taken by myself. As you can see, around parts of the flat, there are piles of videotapes. It's not far short of 1,000 tapes. They average from 3 to 4 hours viewing time per tape. This is quite an interesting one. This in fact is LU number 4. Here we are. This is the Aldwych branch. The Aldwych shuttle just arriving. Echo 250, and today's unit is 878. There you are. There's the doors going across and the gates. There we are. And now descending down to the platforms.
There is a secret side which only comes out in the writer after he has closed the door of his workroom and is completely alone. It is then that he slips into another world altogether. A world where his imagination takes over and he finds himself actually living in the places he is writing about at that moment.
In 1954, Roald Dahl became the proud owner of a small house in Great Missenden, Buckinghamshire. He bought it at auction without ever having seen it. The house was altered and extended and renamed Gypsy House because of the gypsies who lived up the hill. A short distance from Gypsy House, Roald had a shed built. Its design was based on Dylan Thomas's writing hut. Here he would work completely alone and lose himself in his writing.
So this is the secret hut in the orchard where he wrote every single one of his children's books.
Why build another terminal for more passengers if there aren't going to be any extra planes? Well, the answer is because of this, the Airbus A380. This was the very first one to land at Heathrow in May 2006. It carries at least 550 passengers. That's 300 more than a standard plane and 150 more than the already huge jumbos. Will extra passenger capacity be the way forward for air travel, rather than the high speeds of Concorde or the spacious luxury of the early passenger aircraft?
The Ferrier estate in southeast London is to be demolished to make way for a new development. Greenwich Council is currently in the process of decanting or rehousing residents.
The original idea was to provide good quality housing for people who would mostly be working in central London. But the estate is about just under 2,000 homes. It straddles two sides of the A20. One of the things that most bothers us as a residents group is the fact that they've done this decant on a massive scale far in advance of any new build, so that you've got all these properties empty and going to waste and nothing built yet for people to move into.